hands on it.
Recording.
All right. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, before we start this evening, I just want to welcome our guest, our Tyler Case. I appreciate you coming in. Newly appointed provisional appointment until the election, highway superintendent. Just wanted to, I asked you to come in tonight just to officially come in to say hello to the board. We've already saw you before the provisional appointment, but you've had a few days of work under your belt, and just wanted to give you a chance to, if you had anything you wanted to bring to the board, or if you want to mention, we don't expect a report or anything, but just any questions or concerns that you've noticed right off the bat that you'd like to bring to us, or?
No, I can give you a quick thing of what we've done.
Okay. Would you like to do that? Sure.
Yep, the stone top, oil and stone projects have been completed from the Borman Company. Firehouse Road, Jug Road, Cemetery Road, and Banks Lane. We've been doing, now that the tractor's fixed, we've been doing a lot of roadside mowing. That has been complete. We've been doing a lot of shoulder and washout repair due to flood damage from the rain we've had, and also the cleaning of culvert pipes. And I'm also getting the quotes for the chipper, working on that.
For the safety.
For the safety, because I did look out there and that one's not safe. That machine out there, so.
Good.
Okay. So yeah, there is a state bid that you can look at for chipper equipment. You can check through the county highway department. That's already approved, or you can actually go for outside bids if you find one cheaper. That's still
Yeah,
fine.
I did. I called Mike Lawson in the county.
Yep.
He's in charge of equipment for the county. He said that Brush Bandit is the county bid.
Okay.
It'd be the Brush Bandit, which is actually the same brand as the one we have.
Okay.
I also want to get one from Vermeer and Moorbark,
Okay.
just for prices.
So yeah, I'm not familiar with the Brush Bandit, but I've heard of the other two. So
Yeah.
we don't necessarily have to take the lowest bid. Obviously, if you find a piece of equipment that makes more sense, it's more valuable, that would last us longer or be a better value for us, we can consider that.
You're right.
Just to let you know that.
Yeah, I understand.
And when you get those quotes, you might as well get for gas and diesel, right?
Yeah,
So it'll be
and
different.
I was thinking of a gasoline engine only because of the DEF. We don't have to go through the emissions stuff that's on these newer units. It's easier to work on, for sure. Overall, it's just it's more economical to use.
Cheaper too, isn't it?
Yes,
It is cheaper. Yeah, it is cheaper. Yeah.
So if it's better, it's cheaper, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So whatever you consider to be, one that you find you're interested, just bring it to us, let us know, and we'll consider it for the purchase.
Okay.
All
right. Thank you.
Let's just get the prices to us.
Did everything go well with your health insurance and everything like that?
I haven't heard anything yet. I gave Tracy the form.
Okay.
So.
Everything's been submitted to the county. They're in the process of changing it all over, and it's going to be backdated till July 1st.
Good.
So it's all should be
I
in
did
works.
hear back from HR yesterday or today, in an email that they have it and it's going to effect as of 7/1.
Good.
And hopefully you get a paycheck next Thursday.
You get a paycheck this week.
This
For
week.
you to sign. I got them.
Yep, this week.
Oh, they're here.
There was a mistake on the one. He's bringing down one of them tonight. He's got a meeting in the fire department, so they'll be here tomorrow for you guys in the box.
Oh, there's a mistake on the checks?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So they'll be signed and in the box. I'll put them in your box for tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
If he doesn't show up tonight, he's supposed to show up tonight. So if he doesn't show up tonight, I'll sign it tomorrow morning to get it.
Okay.
What are the hours that you're keeping at the town hall or at the garage?
6:30 to 3.
6:30 to 3.
Yep, 6:30
Okay.
to 3. Yep.
And is there? Do we have your a phone number to reach you or an email?
I can give you my phone number.
Okay.
I'll give you my cell phone.
Okay.
Is that something you would want posted on the website?
Not my cell, no.
Yeah.
Not my cell. But the garage number.
So then you want to
Okay,
give
so-
it to her in
so-
writing, so it's not on tape.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, that's it now. Who's gonna?
For the public
No,
record.
this goes on the website on YouTube, so everybody's accessible to
Redact
this.
it.
So if you don't want your
Well,
Yeah.
you can just tell.
I'll
just
write it.
communicate That would be great.
Actually, I have a cell phone. I can
Okay,
provide it.
terrific. There were two things with the park that just are pending. One is the purchase of topsoil for either side of the path going up to the Veterans Monument,
Yep.
as well as the placement of the benches and cement slabs.
And the cement slabs.
The volunteers have put flags, green flags, out where the benches are supposed to go, but I was wondering when you'll be around, maybe we can coordinate. I would be happy to go and sort of just walk around and check.
Oh yeah,
There's a
that'd be
map.
good. Yeah.
I can show you the place.
I did go up there the other day, and I saw some of the flags
Okay,
up there. I saw the one by the monument. And
Right.
I saw one down the access road on the right-hand side.
right.
I didn't venture any further
There are
in
eight.
there, but
There are 8 other spots. We
Right,
have a
okay.
map.
the benches are all built.
Awesome.
So we got that far. And
When it
plus, we got to
stops
wait
raining.
for things to kind of dry out.
Totally. Yeah.
We'll mow the park. I've been wanting to mow. Was able to mow around here today.
Oh, great.
But the park, once it dries up a little bit, I'll be able to
It's gonna take a minute.
mow.
Yep.
Yeah, hopefully by the end of the week it'll be dried out a little bit.
Well, it's gonna rain a
It
couple
drains
more
pretty
days.
well, so a couple dry days it'll be.
It's actually hard base.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Supposed to get rain a couple more days this week.
yeah, a little bit of showers, nothing like we've had.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, those concrete pads are going to require a piece of equipment, obviously, go up there, probably scratch the spot to level off a little bit, probably the backhoe or something, to set those pre-made, precast
Right.
slabs. I don't know, where are they? They're actually,
They're right over by the salt
I
shed.
haven't seen them over there,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
So that's going to take a piece of equipment. That's, like I said, the ground's got to dry up a little bit before you can drive that stuff back there. But,
Right.
you know, as you can work it in whenever you get a chance, you know, if you get a day or something where you got a couple hours or something for guys to do. If you can fit it in, that's great, you know.
Yeah, we will,
start
yeah.
picking at it, you
Yeah.
know. So, good. All right. Other than that, I guess everything is rolling along. Transition-wise, is I know there's going to be some growing pains and things to figure out. But,
There's a couple little things, but not big.
and Jimmy's available for any help, I believe. So I know you can reach out to him.
Yeah, he's been
So
good.
If you need anything, especially with some of the paperwork and some of the filings and stuff, he can help you out.
Yeah,
So,
and Tracy's helped me out too, so,
okay,
with some of the coding and stuff like that for the vouchers.
good. Okay. All right. Anybody else have any questions, Tom? No. All right. Well, I just wanted to have you come in just for a quick moment, go over everything. We appreciate it. Thank you. And,
Oh, yeah.
Good luck with everything. If you have any problems, you always reach out to me, give me a call.
All
I'm
right.
sure I can't help you, but I'll
Yeah.
try.
Keep up the good
That's
work.
all right.
Yeah. So, all right, good. We'll move on to approval of prior town board minutes. Bob,
So moved.
Second?
second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. All right, written communications. We'll start with the clerk report, please, Tracy.
Alright, clerk report for June 2021. Planning board, fees, I won't read them all,
No.
who they're for. $125, $100, $400, and $99. Driveway permits 1 at $50. Dog licenses $15. Building permits total $1,425. Certificates of occupancy $150. One marriage license $17.50. Solid waste $5 and interest 3 cents. Total for the general fund was $2,386.53. We did have some escrow money come in, which was total of $2,900 for trust and agency. And then paid to New York State Agri Market $6, Department of Health $22.50, and Columbia County Treasurer for solid waste $65. Total for June was $5,380.03.
All right, thank you, Tracy. We accept the clerk's report. Marriage license, $17.50. That's all we charge for that?
No, 40.
40.
We get $17.50. The state gets
Okay,
$22.50.
okay. I said 17.50 is an odd number to come up with. Okay. All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Mail review down the bottom. There you go. Okay.
Department
Out
of
the
Health.
state. All right. Mail review. What do we got? Couple things.
What?
Oh.
We do have the Board of Education reorganization for Pine Plains School District. If anybody wants to see it, and a press release. There is a new assistant superintendent of business at Pine Plains as well, and I have that on.
All right, nothing else?
Yeah.
All right, move on to correspondence for web committee. Al, you got anything for the web committee?
Nope, nothing for the web committee.
Okay, I guess we're good. Since you're the only one here, all right. Committee reports. Bob.
You and Tyler took care of everything I was gonna say.
All right then.
I was gonna, but, I guess the only thing is, that, again, keep up the good work. I think Tyler, I've talked with the guys a couple of times. I stop in there every once in a while, and looks like things are going well. It'll take a little while to get used to everything, but I'm sure you're up to it.
Yep, the guys have been really good too, so.
Yeah. So it looks like it's work in progress, but moving along.
Good. All right.
And that's about it for this one.
All right. Quick and easy. Lindsay.
Yeah. So I have a couple things. The park committee, we posted the job posting, and I have not received any interest. So that was a position that was a few hours a week, helping with weed whacking and watering and so on. We've clearly not needed to water.
Good for
okay with
But now a lot of weed whacking will need to happen. And Tyler, the reason for this is that we planted essentially a border with the Miller property of native shrubs, and as well as along the Moss property to the north, to provide some definition for the neighbors. And basically it was extremely dry in the beginning of the season, and we just needed to do regular watering. So we set up some irrigation, but there are some of those bushes that are like off of the sort of irrigation lines that we set up. And my understanding from the highway department was that there was just like not capacity and time to actually weed whack between the bushes. So we advertised this position to basically make sure that the plants were watered, which would need to be hand watered when it's dry again, which will probably happen, we'll see, and then do weed whacking. So I don't know if there's another arrangement that, we could, if there's extra capacity in the highway department, or if there's another way of solving the problem, but at least our initial job posting doesn't seem to be attracting much interest.
I had a feeling with that, 'cause
Yeah, it's very hard to hire anyone
So
right
many
now.
people are looking for help, and there's nobody wanting to, until they stop this extra money they're giving away. Nobody wants to work. I hate
Yeah.
to say it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Only thing I was thinking is if we could, but I think we're required to have someone 18 older. I mean, if you did like 16, high school kids that are out of school for the summer could probably help out.
Right, the
But,
age limitations.
the age limitation is
Yeah.
what's probably keeping us from getting somebody to do it.
Potentially.
I don't know if that's a requirement I didn't actually ask the attorney if we had to have somebody 18 year old. I just thought that we probably did, but maybe I can run it by them quick and see if we can lower it to 16.
That
Or
would be
the-
great. I mean,
or
I think it'd be
the,
an appropriate job.
County HR department might help you with
They
that
could
too.
probably answer that as well, absolutely. So maybe I'll just reach out to them and find out, because that would maybe help us get somebody.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think the problem is they're using,
And I'll look around,
It's
Sure.
called machinery is the
Okay.
problem.
because I have a couple family members who are on the Germantown school there.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
Maybe I can look into that too. See if
Yeah,
they
because
have-
we were offered, what, $20 an hour, so it's
$20
not like
an
it's
hour.
cheap,
Well, no, that's pretty good. No, I never got paid that much to keep weed
I
whacking.
know,
it's
so-
only a few hours a week.
Right.
Yeah, right.
But, all right.
But the reason we're looking at somebody 18 is because of using the machinery and that stuff.
Right, yeah.
And our idea was that we would buy a weed whacker just for use in the park by the person we would hire, and probably just want an electric one just to, make it pretty easy for operation and
Rechargeable.
maintenance and so on.
Yeah,
Yeah, with a
battery,
rechargeable
right.
battery. So that was the plan.
Okay.
The job description is posted on the website, if that's.
Is
what-
it? Okay.
Wonder-
Yeah, I'll look. Okay.
All right, well,
Very
we can,
flexible.
we'll see if we can do anything with the age. If not, then we're gonna, it's tough, All right.
The hose reels were purchased and installed, so that's great. So we don't have hoses all over the
Supposed to be
place.
a-
We can get another one if it's a problem for mowing or anything like that. Right now, I believe there are still some that are sort of stretched along the line of bushes. There's irrigation, but then there's also hoses. So it's possible we could use another one. But there are two there that the volunteers put together. And we also purchased a timer for watering, but we really haven't had to water, so it is not set up. at
We'll need it
this point.
sooner or later, yeah. we'll need it.
Yeah.
So,
The Climate Smart Communities group presented this to us so we could, for signatures, so thank you for doing that, Ray. And I think they're gonna meet sometime.
So next week, we're trying to look
Next
to have a meeting. I'm trying to think who, Susanna, myself, and David had a presentation from Vanessa, who I don't recall where she's from.
Bertozzi.
Yes.
Yep. Mhm.
And she gave
She's
us
a
a
council person in Rhinebeck. and
Yes.
yeah.
So she gave us just a little background information and more information, and we decided that probably the best way for us is to take that list of 200 possible actions that we can take and start to go through that and just pick out some ones that we think we could do kind of quickly and pursue those. So we're looking to meet next week.
Great.
okay.
The other thing that I wanted to bring up, so with the whole zoning issue that we handled around the permitting fees and not an exemption for agriculture and so on. By the way, thank you all for figuring that out. It is completely resolved now. But it just reminded me that it would be really helpful to have like a formal group of producers from the community to review changes, to help as like another check. I served in Red Hook on their agricultural advisory committee when I lived there, and it was really helpful for the town board to say, we're looking at the zoning provision to, at fencing or whatever it might be, and then to actually just give it to this group of farmers to say, is this going to impact your operations, and just to get some feedback. So I wrote up just a little memo on this, and also an information sheet that they did on the town of Red Hook that I think would be nice for us to have, and perhaps we can discuss it at the next town board meeting. So it'd just be a volunteer group to meet on a quarterly basis or something. A couple of the members of the board could help to move it along and nominate people.
That's if we do updates, you mean, as going forward?
As we do updates, if there are things that come up that the local farmers identify as needs that they would like the town to address more fully. If we think, particularly as we think about doing a comprehensive plan, it would be really nice to have a committee already sort of in motion.
But generally, we do that with a public hearing. Anybody can come to that. Right?
I think it's beneficial to have farmers have a venue just to discuss what they need, and to have a group of people that, particularly with the fee changes. I'm sitting here as a farmer on our board, and I missed it just because I sort of assumed that was not impacted, but it was, and it would just be nice, I think, to make sure, given how important agriculture is to our community, that there's a way that a place that we're giving for farmers to engage with our work.
I think I like the idea of a committee who has kind of invested. We get to know them, they get to know us, rather than just relying on kind of random comment at a public hearing.
Yes. I know the town, I'm not suggesting we, create this tonight or anything like that, just for consideration. I know it's been of great benefit to the town of Red Hook. They created a green spaces, they've done a lot of farmland preservation work, and so on, which with the demographic changes that we've seen, so many folks moving up here during COVID, we are going to have development on prime farmland, and the way that they've been able to protect that farmland is basically creating a town fund for farmland preservation. That's way ahead of where we are in this moment, but they wouldn't have even been able to really consider that or think about the threats to their farms And I know, Chris, you brought up the right to farm
Right.
provision. Like you want a group of farmers to be
Right.
at the ready to say, okay, is this
Yeah,
something
that's definitely
going to
the
help
intention
us?
of that,
And
yes.
like how, I think it could help us move something like that forward.
Mhm.
So it's an idea that I would hope that we could consider.
Okay, do you have something now?
Yeah, I just
go take a look
wrote
at
out
so
the
we can
little
think about it
proposal.
till next month?
Mhm. And then this is one of the things that I thought the committee could do would just, to begin with, perhaps even work with Cornell to create a just like how are farms doing here in Claremont? I don't really know. When I have visited voters, I've heard a lot of stories where farms have really been struggling. The extent to which that it intersects with our work on the town is a question, right? What power do we have to support those farmers on the local level? But certainly just to have an understanding of what they need, I think would be a great benefit.
Okay. Yeah, we'll take a look at this stuff and talk about it next month. Or even our workshop meeting if you want.
Sure. Yeah. It's no rush, but I just wanted to. It's been on my mind, so I thought I'd bring it forward.
Okay. All right. That it?
Yep, that's it.
All right, Dawn. Oh, Chris, I'm sorry, I skipped over it.
That's
Hold on.
Oh, I don't have as much to go over. As Lindsay pointed out, I did bring up the right to farm at our last meeting. I'm still putting documentation. There is just a huge amount of information, and I'm now looking at it, trying to figure out how to do more of a summary to start out with, rather than put up. There's just so much information there.
Mhm.
And I, to be honest with you, Bob, you're in the back of my mind. How to share that and print out as much as there is. So,
Buying a new printer first.
yes, yeah. That's really what's in the back of my mind. I could, eventually when I get something completed, I could email out, and maybe I'll work with Bob separately. I don't really want to print all of that out, especially in a draft format. There's quite a bit to go over, so and I do anticipate a lot of changes to be made and things like that. So that's something I'm still working on.
Are those changes that would be made in the local laws?
They can affect the local laws.
Mm-hmm.
The Columbia County has their own, their own right to farm package,
Right.
and then the towns are sort of piggybacking on that and tailoring to their own communities.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of thought that that's how we would do it as well. Mary Howard has been on a. To be honest with you, I don't know if how involved. I think she was very involved, but how involved, I don't know. I don't know if she did everything herself or if she was just a primary member in another committee for, I believe it was the town of Athens. She's all. I've reached out to her. Her and I were the first. She was the first one that I was discussing this with, and she has reached out since, asking, more questions of how she can help and things like that. I will definitely be reaching back out to Mary as well.
Okay. All right. That's it. Everything's good with the website. Everything's good so far.
Yeah, our website updates were a little less hectic this month. It was really the first break I've had in a while, so that's good.
Good.
And I did put our meeting delay because we delayed this meeting a week. I think I ended up posting it after the last meeting, but it was sometime in the past week. So that was a little late. I overlooked that.
That did not get posted on the front door either.
Oh, okay. It wasn't?
No.
Okay.
Because I thought we had changed it, and I stopped here to verify, and it wasn't on there, but I
Okay.
was pretty sure we had, so.
Yeah, as we get closer to next month, because I know next month we're going to push that off another week again, I'll post that prior to the meeting is the intent, but closer to the actual date, so
Yeah.
it doesn't
We've
get
got
buried
a
in the
special meeting
announcements.
coming up that should be mentioned also, right?
Yep. Yeah, 26th.
That's
Yeah.
that's not just executive, that's.
Right. That's a public meeting. Yeah, we're not going to probably take public comment at that point. But we're going to have a public meeting. Yes.
Well, I thought we were delaying the normal
We are.
regular meeting.
In August,
Okay.
yes, August meeting.
But
We're
there's-
having
there's
also we're having a
another-
meeting with the building inspector on the 26th of July.
Okay,
So
okay,
we
so
should
we're
post
talking
that as
about
well.
both
Yeah.
meetings then, okay.
And then the September meeting is also, are we gonna?
That will fall on Labor Day, right?
It'll fall on Labor Day.
So we pushed that to the 7th. That just goes one day. is what
That'll
we
just go
usually
one
do.
day.
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Okay.
That's where, we're set up to do it. These last couple of months have been a little different. So, okay. All right, Dawn.
Well, this month I'm a little bit more active as a historian, and Ray put me in touch with Bill Better, who was the county historian. He had started this, I think, before COVID, and it was delayed, but he's back to it. He would like to use the Clarkson Chapel over on 9G as a venue to do some performances. I think it's around the legend of Sleepy Hollow. He has a reenactor come in, and that would be sometime in October. So he was looking for Ray for support for that for the county government committee. And I talked with him briefly about it. He expects to have maybe 30 or 40 people come. He's seen this reenactor before. He thinks he's does a pretty good job about it, and is hoping that he can use the property for other events like that as well. He also was looking forward to 2026, which seems, I can't even believe I'm saying that year, because that's the 300th anniversary of the United States. And he said that he does not want to do like the typical parade down Warren Street, and wants to really have a lot of focus here in Claremont because the whole Livingston connection and everything like that. So as time goes on, he's going to be coming to the town board looking for support to do a lot of the events over at the State Historic Site.
Yeah,
So-
he's mentioned that to me before, and I was like, well, talk to Dawn about it. He's like, yeah, you're talking 5 years from now. I'm like,
Yeah, but if we're going to
hard
have
to
something
believe.
like that's that big, we probably should start planning now rather than later. Because in a parade down Warren Street, lots of places don't do parades anymore because they're just too expensive with insurance and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But if we could work with the state and get some money for that, that would be excellent as well.
absolutely.
I have to say, I was a little skeptical when I saw that he was named the historian because I knew of him. I just worked a couple doors down the street from him when I used to work up in Kinderhook. But I have to say, I'm very impressed. He's really, he's meeting with us. The county historians have been meeting, or all the municipal historians in the town had been meeting pretty regularly before COVID. He's been engaged with us. He's got county resources coming so that we have someone from the county IT department is helping us work on web pages and things like that. So, and forming a 501c3 that we can get some funding and grants through that. So I have to say, so far, he's really stepped right up. I
He's
have to
shocked
say.
a lot of people
Yeah.
because he is very passionate about history.
Yes, definitely. Really, Mary Howell was our county historian for many years, and I don't think many people saw her.
No.
But he's really made a big effort, and I have to give him a lot of credit.
Good.
So on the grant front, I was reminded as I signed the voucher tonight that I have the invoice, so I can submit to that Columbia Land Conservancy to get our $500 for the reimbursement for the sign. As I said at the workshop, we have not. We were told that our applications were not approved for AARP and the Iroquois Foundation, and it's getting to be the middle of July. I have not heard anything from the Bank of Greene County about receiving our $750, so I'll reach out to them.
Okay.
And I've talked about looking at the CFA to try and see if there's any opportunities out there for us, but I have not done that as of yet. But I will take a look because that is due at the end of the month.
Okay. All right. Okay, good. Thank you. All right, let's move on to old business. Just a couple things to mention. I don't even know why I still have this on here. The highway superintendent appointment. We did the last workshop meeting. Obviously, we made a provisional appointment for Tyler Case until the election results obviously come in and make it official. So that is done and that's taken care of. ARPA funding. I do have a letter here acknowledging the receipt of the information that was submitted. I did it through with the bookkeeper, and it says initial review indicates the information provided appears complete. So they gave me a letter back saying that they received it, it's complete, and we're in the queue. So it does look like we will be receiving half the funding. The total amount is $190,402. We'll receive half the funding this summer. I couldn't find the date just now, but it's somewhere around August, I think, August, September. We'll get half the funding this year and half the funding next summer. Still, the guidelines are very, let's put it, it's a moving target right now. They still do not have an exact thing that we'll be able to use it on. They have a lot of guidelines right now, but speaking to Delgado's office, he's told other supervisors, I haven't spoken directly, but he's told other supervisors, just get the funding, and then the guidelines are going to be changing over the next several months. That it's going to be loosening up on what you can use it for. So he said, just make sure you get in for the funding, and they'll be loosening up the guidelines what we can use it for. And so that's what we did. We submitted the application for the funding, and it's a moving target. Like I said, we'll see how it goes as we move forward. You have until 2026 to spend it, so it's not something we have to come up with in the next year or two to spend. So we'll see. As of right now, it's a very strict guidelines what you can spend it on, but they said they're going to be revising that and changing it as they move forward. So
once we get the money, and they're going to give it to us, but then we have, in order to keep it, we have to tell them what we're spending it on.
you have to fill. Yes, you have to
So
find.
you have to give some of it back if you don't spend it on the right
That
thing.
is a possibility. If you don't spend it, if you can't find anything to spend on that's allowed, you would have to refund it back to them. So it is something we can receive the funds. If we get the funds, we put it in the bank. We'll figure out what we can spend it on. If we can't spend it, we have to give it back. But like you said, they're going to be changing the guidelines of what it's used for. You can use it for, and I do think equipment will be one of them. So I think we'll be fine to use it on equipment. So we could spend it all on equipment very easily with the truck purchase. So.
With the truck and the chipper.
But anyway, yeah. So I mean, there's plenty of things we can come up with to spend it on. But we're in the queue. We're in for the funding. It's moving forward, and we should hear probably the next couple months here.
So this is money that comes from the feds to the state and then gets dispersed to us?
Unfortunately, the state gets the town's money. The federal government sends it directly to the county. Counties already receive their funding, but with all the towns, it goes to the state. And I don't understand. I guess it just takes the burden off the federal government, but the state gets the money, they distribute it, they have to do the work and distribute it to all the towns. So that's why there's a delay. Otherwise, we would have had it already because the county got theirs directly. So it was quick. But,
What is the county spending it on?
you know what? They're still working on that. They haven't just put anything in writing what they're going to actually use it for yet. It was over $12 million for the county, so it's it's a chunk of change. So, but we'll be talking
Can't
about
use it
that.
for tax reduction.
No, you cannot do that. You can't put it in the bank, so it has to be spent. So they're having several meetings on that. We'll be having several more to figure out what exactly to spend it on. It's, like I said, it's a moving target at this point. So the main thing is to get the funding. Once we get that, then we'll figure it out. So. Other than that, new business, not much to discuss. I just want to bring up the August meeting date change. We did just touch on that. We moved from the August 2nd to August 9th, which is the following Monday, similar to what we did this month. We'll just push it off a week. So August 9th at the regular time at 7 p.m. And the building code fees meeting, we just talked about that a little bit also. We do have a public meeting set for July 26th at 7 p.m. to discuss building fees, to go over questions on details and what's included and not included in our building permit schedule. So the building inspector will be here, and we can run through with him. He has some suggestions also of things that we don't have that need to be added. He also has a couple fees that he thinks we should increase. So he's going to bring all that information with him, so we can bounce it off him, talk about it, and go over. I know you had some concerns just that wasn't included in our fees right now. So that will be July 26th, Monday night at 7 p.m. right here.
Yeah.
And it is an open meeting. It is a public meeting. I just don't I don't think we're going to have a lot of public involvement in that because we're going to be talking to the inspector. I don't know how many questions, if people want to ask questions, I guess we'll see. But I think we want to concentrate on working with the inspector and going through the fees.
So there should be a notice on the door that.
It's a public meeting, absolutely. Anybody can come. So we should notice the door and put it on the website. Sure.
So it should be posted as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
For both of those, for the change in.
Yeah, both of them, absolutely. Sure. Yeah, we're the ones that are regular meetings, so yes. And then budget time will be coming up shortly here. So we'll be talking about budgets right around the corner. So I'll be sending out August 1st the requested departments for their budgets. It's right around the corner. September will be here before you know it. So fun. Supervisor report. I don't have a lot to discuss on that yet.
Going back to the budget meeting, for the new budget, we're gonna have to put stuff in there for that other money that we're getting from the state. Is that, we need a budget for that, or?
I think if we receive it before we finalize the budget, I would say we should put it in. I don't like to put stuff in the budget we don't know for sure we have coming. So I think that's going to be an amendment if we do get it when we get it, unless it's here before we finalize the budget.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not going to count on something they say they're going to send because you know how that works.
Yeah.
We'll make an amendment.
I think we also need to make sure that equipment is also part of the contingencies that we can spend it on.
Yeah.
Right. But
Yeah.
before we put it in the budget for that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yep. The county's back to 100%. So we are having our first meeting in public, in person, I should say, not public in person, this Wednesday night. It's a full board meeting, so it'll be interesting to finally get back to the county. Haven't been up there in forever, so makes it much easier when you're there in person to discuss and talk to other people and all this, get some questions answered that I need. One of them is the speed limit reduction we've talked about for Hillendale Road. I still have not got that submitted yet because I think everybody knew that the engineer that was in charge of that passed away a couple months ago. They have not filled this position yet. The secretary's kind of been taking over and trying to do the paperwork on that. She's only there 2 days a week. I personally haven't had a chance to connect with her to do this. I think they're waiting to fill that position with a full-time employee, but I will be following up with her on this to try to get it submitted because it's been 3 months since we discussed it. So I will be following up with her to try to get it submitted, but they may well wait until they hire this other engineer to come in to do it. So, but I haven't forgot about it. I just want to mention that it's still on a.
And also
background.
Buckwheat Road, I think we were going to do the two.
The Buckwheat Road we talked about as
at the
well.
same
Yes, so I'll have to put in for both of them at the same time so I can do a speed study or whatever they.
Do you need one on Commons, or is that's already happened?
You're talking about a speed limit?
Yeah, reduction or.
I think the speed
consideration.
limit is fine. It's just enforcing it.
Uh-huh.
And unfortunately,
That's
that's
the
what we're faced with all of them. I mean, that's, you can set the speed limit whatever you want. It's just if there's no enforcement, that's the problem.
Right.
And Hillendale Road, I actually found out, believe it or not, there's no posting on that road, so it's 55 on there. No posting is 55 mile an hour.
Right.
So it's 55 mile an hour on a
What
dead
do
end
they
road.
want?
20.
Yeah.
So it very well, it obviously would require some kind of signage, but I don't know if they'll go down to 20, but they may drop it to 30. It's a small, short road. So, but again, we can put it in for, consideration. So, but I will be following up on that.
What is the speed limit on Buckwheat?
I believe it's 40.
I think it's 40. Yeah, I believe it's
Yeah.
40.
It's the same with Commons Road, but
Yeah.
It's a shortcut. It's like my route.
People
Yeah,
go really
For
fast.
years was a
I know
shortcut.
that's
And there's a blind corner there that I think is the
right.
walk.
Most
That's
people
the
use it, like you said, as a shortcut and on that straightaway. They fly across the
Yeah.
flats up there.
Yeah.
And we've had a sign there from the sheriffs at one time or another. We've actually had them sit there a few times, and that sign actually picks up when their speeders are going through, what speed they're going. But it varies. And again, if you don't have an officer there writing tickets, it's not going to do you any good.
Right.
That's the problem. So, but we could certainly have a look at it.
Do you know if there are alternative speed reduction measures rumble strips or speed tables, humps or anything like that are ever considered by the county?
I don't think they put those out on random roads. I mean, if it's
Yeah.
an entrance to a parking area or something, it's one thing, but I don't think they put them on
Right.
roads.
You're thinking of River Road, probably.
River Road just did it.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of bike traffic there, and so to speed cars down to I think 45 or maybe maybe it's 35
It's
there.
probably less than 45.
They
I
just
think you're
they
talking
just
about just as you come
installed
into
in
the
Dutchess
board.
County. Yeah. Well, it's actually south Well, it depends on which direction you're coming
Yeah,
from. If you're coming from the south, and I don't know, they perhaps are to the north as well. But
I don't know how far. Yeah, they go.
there are these painted yellow speed tables. that-
There's quite a few of them.
there are a lot.
turning,
There are a lot.
like
People
I
are driving way too fast.
turned in at.
Again, that's another road easier shortcut. You know,
Right.
there's
Yeah.
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 To the bridge. Exactly.
Yeah, there's a lot of bikers on there.
I mean, if there was a serious issue, problem identified, maybe they'd consider it, but, you know, it has to be something documented for them to consider.
Sure.
I don't know of any areas that anybody
I
is.
feel like Commons would be with that turn there would be the.
Well, that's a town
just-
road. That's
Yeah.
a town road. That has nothing
Right.
to do with the counties putting strips down. But, you know, I don't think we want to get into putting road strips down on the roads that we maintain. It's just a pain. It's paying for plowing. It's paying for maintaining. You know, if there's a serious issue, I mean, but that's dumb.
I think I'm remembering near the Performing Arts Center next to Bard. It's I guess it's a speed bump, but it's just sort of a large hump. So if you hit it too fast,
Yeah,
You're
sometimes they
gonna
put them
know.
around businesses like
But
colleges and stuff. You know, to slow you down. You know, it's,
yeah, but it's also the kind of thing where it's large enough where I think a snowplow may
Yeah, it's a
Go
gradual
over,
thing.
yeah.
It's not just a small one that would break the
Well,
plow.
almost like you'd have in an intersection, right? A main intersection, you'd have a go over it.
Yeah.
And they also have the electronic speed limit sign up there.
That I think is
Should the
helpful.
person that requested for Hillendale be told that it's still in, just as a courtesy, or?
We could. I mean, I have that in writing. She sent me that. I have the information. I could let her know that it's just been on the back burner right now, but we haven't forgotten about her. I can tell her that. You know. So, yeah, maybe I should do
But,
that.
yeah, it's just a nice
It's
gesture.
been 3 months, so. I mean, it does take forever. I mean, we know like how long it
Yeah.
take kind of our 19th
Yeah.
over a year,
Yeah.
but
But
at least I know we're working on
But it
it.
looks like it's even longer because the guy died.
Yeah. Well, and everything stopped with COVID. Obviously, that really pushed that one way
Yeah.
off. So this should be quicker. But as soon as they get somebody in position that will do it full time, which would make a big difference.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, I can reach out. All right. I guess that's it. Move on. Motion to abstracts. It's a quick meeting. Although I do want to have an executive session at the end to discuss personnel issue. So if we get done, we'll do all the business first.
I move we pay trust and agency number 4, vouchers 6 through 18, in the amount of $4,669.50.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
I move to pay prepaid number 7 vouchers 161 through 163 in the amount of $178.80.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
I make a motion to pay general abstract 7A, vouchers number 164 through 200 in the amount of $26,424.17.
Big spender.
Yeah.
Second?
A second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Move to pay highway abstract number 7, vouchers number 55 through 61, in the amount of $8,243.29.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay. Move on to public comment. Not all at once, but we'll take public comment. No comment from the public? Okay. At this point, I would like to ask for a motion to go into executive session to discuss personnel. We will not be discussing or conducting any business after. We will just adjourn the meeting, so we do need a motion to go into executive session.
So moved?
Second.
Motion by Chris, second by Bob. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. All right. So we're all set. Thanks, Tyler. Appreciate
Okay,
you
you're
coming in.
ready.
8:15.
Recording.
Who seconded?
Second?
Chris seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
first?
Bob. Carried. Nothing further to be discussed tonight. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
Moved by Bob, second by Chris. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you.